Hello, everyone. Brian France here, Hospice Care Marketing, bringing you another webinar, another one of our monthly webinar series. Today, we're going to be talking about how to set up your website for maximum conversion. So we'll explain exactly what we're looking for when we're setting up a website. So I just want to make sure that uh, everyone can hear and see my screen. If you could just drop a one in the chat, that'd be great. But thank you for being here today and excited to get this started. So this is all part of our accelerated growth model. A few things we have to solve for here with internet marketing, right? We have to get leads, we have to maximize the conversion of those leads, and we have to optimize the results. So today we're looking at the maximize conversion area, right? And all about the website for today, okay? And here's just another view of that, right? The different ways you can drive leads, maximize your conversions. Not going to be talking so much about reputation today, just really focused on the website, okay? Uh, and the things you can do to your website. Here's another diagram, another image of the digital dominance method. Really, what you can focus on your internet marketing strategy, right? There's so many different things you can focus on, and they all kind of lead back, right, to your website. So we're going to get into that. You can just do me a favor, turn off the cell phone, turn off, close that Facebook window down. And if you're really serious about, maximizing your conversion effectiveness of your internet marketing efforts, uh, promise today you'll leave with some valuable insights. So, who am I and why you should listen to me? I'm the author of the book Internet Marketing for Hospice Providers. Happy to send that to anyone that likes to read. Widely accepted as a premier expert in the internet marketing space for hospice. And the most important thing here, right, is this is what we do. This is what we do every day. We work with uh, dozens of hospice providers right now across the country, and implementing the exact strategies I'm going to be sharing with you today. So it's not just me. We have a team here that makes it all happen. And um, so, yeah, love to start this off with the problem. Okay. If you're spending a lot of money in your advertising, right? If it's a big investment, okay? And you're getting traffic, right? People might be coming to your website, viewing your online profiles, but you're just not getting enough leads from it, okay? That's a problem, right? So that's going to return not a whole lot, right? If we're not getting a lot of leads, and really that would set you up for failure, okay? Phone's not going to be ringing. Business is not booming. Okay. Now, if we flip that, we have a great site that's built to convert. Okay. Great site built to convert. We can consistently get some more leads coming in the door. And, uh, right, we convert that traffic into more leads. Okay. Now we have some ROI, we're hitting targets, business is booming, right? The phones are ringing, we have momentum and consistent growth. Okay. Um, so that would be success. Okay. Phones are ringing, business is booming. That's what we're talking about today. Okay. And really, your website is the hub. It's the foundation of all your marketing. So the many different ways that people can find out about your business, right? The search results, social media, right? They're all going to end up most likely back in your website. Okay. And if we look at two different scenarios here, okay, in scenario one, we have 1,500 visitors to the website a month. Okay, and say we convert 5% of those. So a conversion being a phone call or some sort of lead form being filled out. Okay. 1,500 visitors, if we convert 5% of those, right? That's 75 calls or leads. And then if you are able to convert 30% of those leads, right, you would have 22 admissions from those 1,500 visitors a month. Okay, with the average transaction value, I know this varies, but say it's $6,000. You're looking at a return at the end of the month of 151,000. Now, if we look at just increasing that conversion effectiveness by 10%, right? So 1,500 visitors, now we're converting 15%. And everything I'm going to be sharing with you today is going to set you up for success in that area. So 1,500 visitors, 15% conversion, right? So we just bumped it up 10%. So if we convert 10% of that same traffic that you're already getting, right? Now you're looking at a much more calls, right? Calls and leads now we're at 225. We can convert 30% of those, just like in scenario one, right? If we're converting, right, 30% of those 225 calls came on service, right? You'd have 67 admissions, right? Average transaction value 6,000. You're looking at a much healthier return, right? Of 459,000. So just a small increase in the conversion effectiveness of the website can mean big results, can mean a huge difference in the overall effectiveness of the internet, your internet marketing strategy. So, um, and we have some case studies of this, right, with client here that started back in 2020, right? The first time calls are at 82. Um, for this quarter, I think it's 4 months. If we look at another 4 months in, we're looking at a 3 times increase, right? And making some changes to the website. So you're tripling the amount of results that you get by some small tweaks, some optimizations you can do to your website. So let me know if that's cool with everyone, and let me know if you are on board with this and is this making sense. So why is getting your website built to convert important to you, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I do have a workbook. If you just visit hospicecaremarketing.com/website workbook, that'll pull up a Google Drive doc to where it forces you to make a copy of it, right? So now that's yours. You can make changes to it. You can fill it out, right? No one else is going to be able to see that, but you're going to make a copy and save it. And this is now yours, right? So you'll make a copy. So visit hospicecaremarketing.com/website-workbook. And yeah, you'll have that. You'll make a copy and it'll be your document. This is yours, and it won't be shared with anyone unless you do share it with someone. So some of the critical elements that I want to lead with here is we want to speak to our target avatar, right? Who's our target market, right? Who's going to be visiting the website? Who is our target market? And what are their fears and frustrations and why they should choose you, okay? So we want to answer that, right? In the content, in the words on the page, right? We want to answer those questions, talk to this your visitor. I think a big one and probably the most effective is to be real, to include some real imagery of your team, your office, right? You're doing in services, like you get some photos from your marketers when they're out in the field. These photos are going to connect with with the visitors a lot more than any stock photography that you find out there. Okay. People like to do business with people they know, like, and trust. So if your team is on the website, smiling back at that visitor, it's going to connect with them a lot better than any stock photos. Um, and use video, right? Have a website welcome video. Have a video outlining, your volunteer program, or some of the services that you may offer. Um, and I think a video, like, really explaining why someone should choose to work with your company, uh, these things can go a long way. Okay? We want to leverage social proof, so we want to highlight reviews that you have online. We want to bring those in on the website, and leverage though, and showcase how people have experienced your services, right, in your community. Believe it or not, those reviews, they are trusted just as much as a personal recommendation. Now, is a review going to be as trusted if it's a year or two old than a review that's a week old, right? So you do want to keep a strategy to keep these reviews coming in. Because obviously a review that's a week old is going to be a lot more trusted than one that's, months or years old. Okay. Some of the basics to get in order. And I plan to pull up a website and show you. I'll pull up a website that we just randomly pick in the market I'm in, and we can diagnose, maybe some changes to that website, and then we'll look at a website that we recently launched for a client, and what you'll see is the basics, right, are in order. We have a phone number in the top right hand corner on every page. Okay, we can't bet that someone's gonna visit a website or visit one of our clients' websites and then uh, scroll all the way down to find the phone number, or they have to click another button, go to the contact page to find that phone number. And we want to give it to them right when they come there. Nice big phone number at the top right, so they don't have to go searching around for it. Um, and believe it or not, if you're hoping that the client will scroll down to find the phone number, believe it or not, you're asking a lot of that visitor. Okay, you got to give it to them right when they land on the site. And a lot of sites nowadays, they have this in place. So I don't expect to pull up a random website and see that, but I have seen it in some instances. It's like, okay, do we want phone calls, or are we not trying to target get some phone calls, right? Because it's hard to find it. I have to scroll down to find it. We also want to make sure there's a web form, an easy to access web form on every page that someone can fill out. And not everyone's going to be able to call, and not everyone's going to fill out a chat. They want to have that option to fill out a form. So we want to leverage some credibility and authority that you've got out there. Some of the associations that you're a part of. If you're, you're, yeah. So BBB, Angie's List, things like that. We want to ensure that we have clear calls to action on every page. It really speaks to your customers, or your patients, right? Your patient's avatar, your customer's avatar. And we want to tell them exactly what to do next. Okay. It's like, fill out this form. Okay. Um, we want to use the calls to action that matches the service that they're in need of, right? We also do some websites for home health care companies. We have clients that do both, right? They have both service lines, or maybe three service lines. They also do palliative, hospice, and home health. So we want to, match the calls to action to that service. Okay. Um, and it's a very big one. More than half your traffic is likely coming from a mobile phone. So if we haven't paid attention, or if we haven't looked at the experience that the user is having on their mobile phone with your website, right? That's a big opportunity, right? Is there a nice, clear, big enough button to click to call? Very important. A couple other things here, like being able to leverage live chat. This is there's a way for people to come to your website and send a message that can connect to your team's cell phone. We can email, text, and that's going to prompt them to, someone's on the website chatting right now. They have a question, right? You can quickly and easily fill it, pull up the that message and respond to them and start a two-way conversation. Um, huge opportunity there. You're going to get a lot of inquiries from this. Organically on your website, there might be a wide range of people interested in a job or people interested in volunteering, things like that. But promise, you're going to get a lot more inquiries from people asking like, "Hey, is this really 100% covered by Medicare?" Right? Like, of course, yeah. So you want to engage that person, right? If they can't clearly figure that out, like, how am I going to pay for this? They can quickly ask their question and get that answered, and that could result in a new inquiry. Um, Yeah, there's tools out there where maybe they can book if they wanted to book some time to get their questions answered, they could do so. So that's always a nice option for or a nice avenue for people to be able to book, and then really paying attention to the site speed is is critical. Okay, so if your website takes like more than 3, 4, 5 seconds to load, you're going to lose a lot of people. Okay, and we'll talk about that a little bit, um, and we want to be able to engage via SMS as well, via text message, and use some marketing automation. So can't wait to highlight all those. So what is the one element that will have the biggest impact on your overall internet marketing results? Okay. And I think it is the website. Okay. And so how do we optimize for conversion? Um, so here's a couple image examples of the website, but we always have calls to action, nice big phone number, some authority, right? Before someone can scroll. That's what we're looking to do, right? We're trying to let them know they're in the right place, right? Give them their option, like a nice big phone number, calls to action, and something to build trust, right? So that's what we're trying to accomplish there. So before you scroll, everything that this visitor can do, right? They can chat, they can fill out a form, and find the phone number before they scroll, right? They don't have to look around um, and try to figure it out, right? It's given to them right off the bat. And we're getting a lot of traffic from the organic search, right? These are people that are not necessarily referred to you guys or to your website. They haven't been referred. So they're coming and the website's got to answer some questions right off the bat. And some of these things are going on subconsciously when people visit your website, but they want to make sure that you're dealing with a reputable company, right? That you're in their market, and how can I contact them, right? Some of these things might be going on subconsciously with some of those visitors, so we want to answer and think about those when we're building and designing the website. And um, so how can we get your website to convert at a really high level? Okay, the way you organize and lay out your website uh, should be designed and laid out with conversion in mind. right? Like, how are we going to get a conversion? How are we going to get a phone call or a lead from a visitor? Okay. And so like I was sharing, nice big phone number, calls to action, and some sort of trust or credibility symbols there, right? Um, so in your workbook, you have this. Please, and these things aren't that difficult to do on a website, but sometimes some of these things might be overlooked. And so think another way, like if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys, right? Um, so you really want to think about who's visiting your website, okay? You want to look at the demographics, okay? Gender, predominantly female, might be daughters, wives, or female caregivers. Often, have this role. Might be married, widowed, or adult children, maybe of elderly parents, right? So I want to map out your demographics, okay? And we do this with our clients, so we can really talk to our visitor. Okay, we want to understand their pains and frustrations. We want to understand their fears and implications. Okay, some of those fears, we want to address. Okay, is loved one gonna die immediately? Like, do they have to go somewhere for hospice? Right? We want to answer those questions in the content so people can fear or feel more confident to reach out to you. Right? Um, we want to understand their goals and desires. Okay. So that, and let me know if anyone would like some help brainstorming on these topics. We love doing this, and this really helps our designer and our content writer prepare the words on the page and the way we organize and answer the questions on the website. Um, so yeah, your messaging on the site should address myths, right? Acknowledge the struggles that they're dealing with, right? Provide support, reassure, right? We want to leverage those case study those testimonials, right? From Google, from your online platforms. And we want to have some clear steps outlined for them, like what's going to happen when they choose hospice. And so here's some messaging that works, right? So a loved one deserves comfort and dignity. We're here to help. I speak with a hospice expert today. Support is just a call away. Think hospice means giving up. Think again. Hospice is about living fully with expert pain management. So we can answer these questions, talk to their fears and implications, talk to their goals and desires. Okay. Um, there's an example of some of the, clear steps or messaging that works. Um, Highly encourage some authenticity, having your team, right? Picture. They can get the size of the operation. They can see the people that are going to be coming into their home and caring for their loved one. Huge. And leverage the reviews, right? That you see on your or that they might see online. We want to bring those also, we want to stream those in from Google. Um, it's gonna add a lot of trust, and people can actually see this, click it, go to the actual review on the like where it came from. So it's not like we typed it up and came up with this. This is what the family said. No, these are actually real reviews from real patients, real caregivers in your community. So these are going to hold a lot of trust, and they're going to hold a lot of weight and convince. So when people are calling, they don't have to call multiple companies to figure out like who do we want to work with, right? That they are going to feel pretty confident because they trust these reviews just as much as a personal recommendation. So highly recommend that. So some of the fundamentals I mentioned, nice big phone number, and yeah. So I think now might be a good time to pop open a website, and let me look for one like hospice near me. Uh, and so if we see some ads, these are going to be the ones that there's an ad here also on the map. These are going to be the ones that are near me, right, in my community. And if we just look at this first one, Haven Hospice, looked too far from me. If we go to their website, um, okay, there we go. So I do see a nice big logo. So I think the question's answered. Like, am I in the right place? I can see hospice, nice and big. See it again, and yeah. So that's what they. So life's most precious journey deserves compassion, dignity, and love. Okay. So before I scroll, it took me a second to figure out where the phone number was because I initially looked over here and I saw the contact button. Okay. And so best practice is to put your phone number there, right? So your best practice is to put a nice big phone number there. So that's one thing I would change about the design here. I don't think anything's too bad, but what I'd also like to see is an opportunity without having to click the contact button. I would like to see like what should I do here, right? Like I schedule a consult or talk with the care team, right? Talk with our care team or something like this, some sort of call to action here that would lead me to the next step. So that's what I'd be looking for. And then I think we could, you know, have some sort of like trust and credibility symbol somewhere. Um, if the Google review stars, like the rating or what have you, could be like somewhere visible, that could get some trust built. And so just looking at the above the fold area of the website, it's not a terrible website, but I think what we could do to make the phone number easier to find might be to add that up in the top right hand corner. That's where people usually gravitate to. People who read left to right, and having that phone number uh, in that right hand corner, right? So that's going to, I bet you it would improve. I think also the phone number might be a little bit small, and it probably wouldn't take them too long to figure it out. Okay. The other thing is when I scroll, I'd probably want to see a phone number as well. So what we did for this client is a nice big phone number and that's always going to be there. Okay, so no matter where they land, where they are on the page, it's always going to be there in the top right. Okay. um, and we're also got a nice video of the owner talking to the audience, talking to the visitor. People are watching this, people see this, and they're going to call, and a lot of times the owner is answering the phone. He's the one that's handling a lot of the calls. So uh, people really appreciate that. But having the owner here smiling back at the visitor, talking to them, welcoming them to the website, letting them get a little peek at inside the company, okay, can build trust fast. If we look at the about page here, and I see they got like a meet the team in our story, which I love. So got a real photo there, smiling back at them, and then I'd love to see the meet the team here. And this is going to go a long way for them, right? Having some real imagery of their key staff, right, is going to build trust, right? These are the people that are, likely could be entering the home, right? Could be answering the phone calls, right? Who they're going to be dealing with. This is going to build trust. So I really do think that is a great idea for them. I bet you that is a page that gets visited often on their website. Okay. We're going to be doing the same sort of thing, right? We have the team here smiling back at them, welcoming them to the website. So um, love it. So just wanted to highlight a key. Oh, and the other thing, it's like we have the call to action, always above the fold, so they don't have to. We're not counting on them to click the contact form or go to the contact page to fill out a form. We have it on every page, no matter where they land. We're thinking about conversion. Okay. Um, so those are a couple ideas that you can uh, take away there from the conversion side of things. Now, the next thing is your website. Okay, and let's see, did I lose um, my chat? There we go. Um, so is your website mobile friendly? What is how does your website pull up on a mobile phone? And if you look at some of these stats, right, 4.8 billion people now own mobile phones. Okay, it's a computer in your pocket, right? 3 out of 5 consumers search for local businesses on their smartphone. Okay. I want to ask you, what do you do when you want a restaurant? You need a plumber, you need an electrician in your house. What do you do? Do you go to your computer or do you pull out your phone and look for someone near you? Right? And Google reports here that 40% of mobile consumers turn to a competitor's site, after a bad mobile experience. Um, so if they landed on the site, it was hard to scroll, it was hard to like they had to zoom in or they couldn't, find the click to call button. Uh, they went back and went to another site that could accomplish that. Okay. You want to make sure that your website you can scroll, right? Maybe using your thumb, you can scroll, you could click the buttons and fill out the information right from their mobile phone. Um, and only 5 to 10% of visitors take action, right? So call or web form. And 90% that means 90% of the people that come to your site are leaving, right? Without taking action. Now, maybe not all 90, maybe some of those people were just researching. Not everyone maybe has a need, but how many of them actually did have a need and they left without calling or filling out a form? Well, adding some live chat, right? We know that they're likely interested. Like they came to the site for some reason, right? They're in your service area most likely, and they're on your website. So I think leveraging the chat here, the live chat, will increase the amount of inquiries that your company gets. Okay, that your website's able to provide. Um, And we see it all the time because we have some clients that they're not equipped to have someone man that live chat all the time, and they feel like they might be losing opportunities by not having the live chat. So you can turn it into like a contact form where you collect a name and a phone number before getting the message. That really does drop the amount of inquiries that come in. A live chat, someone can just text. It could and get a response within a couple minutes. Right, this is going to increase the amount of inquiries by an average of 35%. So I highly encourage looking into some sort of live chat option and working with the staff member that can man this. You can set up some offers, some hours that these things are able to collect details. If someone's on the site at 2 in the morning, we're not gonna, hopefully they don't expect that, someone's gonna wake up and answer them within 2 minutes. Um, so again, the key ideas we talked about, like speak to your avatar, be real, right? Use real images, use real video, leverage social proof, basics, right? Phone number in the top right, web form on every page, and authority and trust symbols. Right? Make sure you have clear calls to action. Um, I want to match like if they're on the home health page, we don't want to say like, hey, yeah, I have a consultation about hospice on that form. Okay, so have a form that matches the service line that you offer. Um, Make sure your website's mobile optimized, leverage live chat, the site speed. That's one thing I'll pull up here real quick is let's look at the site speed, okay? Or what we want to do is like page speed uh, insights from Google here. It's a little tool that can I'll take the home page for them and and see what the how long it takes, especially on mobile. This is really powerful. Can give you some good insights into how long it takes for the website to load on mobile. And um, the website on mobile, like I don't expect. I see a lot of issues with that. A lot of failing grades essentially with mobile phones. And this one, we're at 64 out of 100. Okay, still not terrible, but there's definitely room for improvement. And it'll give you some ideas of um, things to do. Okay, things that can speed up the loading of the website from a mobile phone and your desktop. For some reason, I'm unable to retrieve. So, um, and we can put our client's site in there. Get an idea. Did it give us the desktop? I saw the mobile, which was at 64. So I would assume that the desktop is going to perform better. Um, let's see what comes back with. Yeah, see, so 90, that's not bad. And if we look at our client here, and I hadn't done this before, and if this is not above 85, 90, our team will take a look at it and address it. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for passing grade on this, right? We want that website to load quickly on a mobile phone and desktop. Okay. So you can see a much better score on mobile. So that user that visits the website from a mobile phone, they're going to have a good experience, right? Google sees these things as well. Okay. Because if someone comes to the website, takes too long to load and they leave, Google measures that, right? So they'll see like you're getting a lot of bounces, right? Something is not clicking with the audience. It's providing a bad experience. And so they're not going to reward you in the search results for that. So you definitely want to understand the experience that your visitors are going to have on your website, and we're performing there perfectly. So um, yeah, hope that was helpful. So a free tool, check it out. Just type in Page Speed Insights into Google, pop your website in there, and get an idea of what users are experiencing when they visit your website. Very important. Um, and so is your website set up to convert? Okay. In the workbook that was shared, you have all those key ideas, right? All those strategies, all those things you can implement. If you were to pick three of them to implement in the next 30 days, what would they be? Write it down, shoot me a message with it, drop it in the chat, shoot me an email. I'd love to see what it is you're going to implement, and I want you to take action on those items, okay? And so please write it down, use the workbook, shoot it in a message, write it down, and yeah, so and implement in the next 30 days. So we're getting close to wrapping up here, but a big marketing issue facing websites is that like I already mentioned, the 50 to 60%, sometimes 90% of you're only getting leads from 90% of the visitors. So where do all the other ones go to? So um and 50 to 60% are leaving unconverted. Um And this is a big one, right? 90% of web forms fail to convert. So what happens? Like the person came to the website, they filled out a form. Why, when we try to call them back, are they not answering the phone? Why are they not converting? Why can we not get them on the line? Why can we not get them on service? Um, so here's why. So leads that are not followed up with within 15 minutes, and I think it's more like within like 5 minutes, right? If you're not following up within, the first 5 minutes, they're going to go cold. They went on and did something else they forgot. And the average customer must be followed up with 5 to 7 times right before a sale is made. Right. So if you read anything about sales, you probably heard this, right? The the money's in the follow-up. Okay. Today's consumer prefers to interact via text and over phone call or email. Okay. And so the solution is to leverage some marketing automation. Okay. We want to follow up with those web forms right away. Okay. We're going to be sending for our clients, as soon as someone fills out one of those forms, we're going to be sending an email and a text message within the first 2 minutes. Okay. They're going to get the email right away, and we're going to wait a minute and send them a text message, right? To engage with them via the way they want to engage. Okay. And we want to automate some of that follow up, right? We don't want to. So we have a couple of these messages automated, right? So we're going to hit them the email and a couple text messages within the first few minutes of filling out that form. Okay, and so what have we done? We've taken away some of those touches that and some of those follow ups. We've taken some of those off of your plate, and we want to audit so we also want to touch them a couple times via two-way text message. 5+ times, we're not going to be we don't set up anything 5+ times, maybe in some other industries, but yeah, we don't need to be sending out 5 text messages, right? A couple text messages is doing the trick for our clients. Okay. And even something to pay attention, like if someone calls and the call's missed, right? No one answered, we can automatically send that caller a text and just say, hey, sorry I missed your call. This is, um, Joe's Hospice down the street. Um, how can we help? Sorry I missed your call, So that is going to get people engaged as well. So here's some math for that, right? If we have 100 leads converting, 30% of those, right? We have no follow-up, we have 30 admissions, okay? That's average ticket, 205,000. Now, if we automated some of that follow-up, we got from those same 100 leads, we can bump up the conversion to 70%, right? Because now we've engaged with them via the way they like to communicate via text, right? You're looking at a lot more services, right? 70 admissions, and a lot better ROI, right? So very important. If you're going to be doing some online marketing, you definitely want to consider some sort of marketing automation for those leads. Okay. Um, just makes every lead you generate a lot more value. And so let's apply this to your business. Is your website built to convert? Right? Look over the 12 things that we have listed up there in that workbook. Speak to your target avatar, right? Be real, use video, leverage social proof, okay? Pay attention to your site speed, your mobile, like how your website shows up on mobile. All these things. Pick 3 of them and implement them in the next 30 days and see what happens. Okay. And so if you need help with this is what our team does every day. We are building the websites for hospice providers across the nation. We are running digital marketing campaigns, right? We're performing SEO services. We're getting our clients more calls and more leads from the internet. Okay. we are measured upon admissions, right? You're not hiring us to, you know, increase traffic to your website. You are hiring us to provide your company with more admissions, right? And that's how we are measured. And I'd love to look at your overall internet marketing presence and show you what we can do for you. If you just go to go.hospicecaremarketing.com, you can fill out the form there, schedule a time. I highly encourage you to do that. There's no obligation. I'm not here. I'm not going to be hard selling you or anything. I'm going to show you an opportunity and see if it makes sense for you. This is the right timing. If it makes sense, we can move forward. If not, no problem. We're happy to recommend resources and point you in the right direction. So uh, go.hospicecaremarketing.com and fill out that form. What we're going to be looking at your online visibility, right? How do you show up in your market for many different keywords, right? Many different hospice related keywords. What are people typing in? We want to see where we rank in Google for that. Okay, we want to look at there's directories out there with your business name, address, phone number. We want to make sure there's consistency in those directories, right? This is going to prove to Google you're the authority in your market. We want to look at your reviews, the velocity that they come in. We want to look at your overall reputation online and look at your social presence and the website conversion effectiveness. So go.hospicecaremarketing.com. If you need a call, we can schedule that as well. 877-959-5849. Love to hear from you. Would love to get the opportunity to show you how this can benefit you. And again, go.hospicecaremarketing.com and we'll make it happen. But that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for being here. If you need anything, give me a shout and we'll talk again real soon, okay? Thank you. Have a good day.